Hey, young girl, we are back with a new episode this week. I want to start by saying thank you to who all have been watching, listening, sharing, commenting on the platforms. We can be found on Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube, Instagram, or wherever you can search for Hey Young Girl. Today I want to talk about what success means to you. So everybody has different goals and aspirations that they set for themselves within their life, right? And a lot of times, even when you're younger, you'll say, I have this dream of being, ABC, right? Or I want to drive this certain kind of car. I could see myself living here, having this type of career. And, through your lifetime, you're gonna have a lot of people that come and, they have opinions on what their success is, right? Even society will tell you what they believe success is. You're going to graduate, you're going to go to college, you're going to get some type of degree, and then you'll go into this awesome career where you'll make six figures, you'll buy this big, beautiful home, you'll be in the perfect size, weight, and you have two kids with a brick home and a dog, right? So a lot of times, a lot of people, was looking at that blueprint and aspiring to be that. So what I'm telling you is aspire to be whatever your success is for you, right? Hone in on what makes you, what makes you happy. And it shouldn't be based on, what you have in your bank account, what kind of car you drive, and things like that. A lot of people that are rich, they'll tell you sometimes it'll be in the end where they'll have these regrets and they'll wish that they spent more time with their family, or they wish that they spent, more time traveling, and they just work, and yeah, they may have the money, but they don't have the time, or they don't have their health, or, they didn't even take the time out to go explore or have a little bit of fun. And so now they're resentful because all of their relationships didn't last. Their kids grew up and they didn't have no relationship with them. All they have is money, right? And let them tell it, how they say, oh, rather be crying in a Bentley. So I'm just saying, success for you should be, based on what you find success to be, right? If you are making a good wage, you're able to pay your bills, you take, maybe a trip per year, you go to some concerts, you made it to all of your kids' events, and you watch them, grow up because you spent time with them and you show them how to play bat and ball, or you spend time with your daughters to where now you have a relationship with them and they trust you to be able to come to you and speak about certain things and be vulnerable with you, right? So that's success. Maybe in your upbringing you didn't have a successful relationship with your parents, y'all may be estranged, right? Or you may have grown up to where you weren't able to participate in a lot of different things because maybe, they couldn't afford it, or, whatever the reasons were. So success may be simple as, you keeping a full-time job, you being able to, travel a little bit, you aren't living, you in a bad neighborhood. Sometimes, you'll find that a lot of people weren't, able to maybe create a safety net for themselves. So that could be success, right? You were able to move out of a bad neighborhood and you got you a nice home in a area where you don't have to pay for private school. You can let your kids go to a public school because it's safe and they have good, graduating class coming out of there and they're getting scholarships to colleges, right? So that's successful, so don't allow outside people and society or whatever dictate what success means for you. And, maybe you feel successful after you have accomplished a whole day of your to-do list, right? You were able to get that list done, and that's a big accomplishment for you. You learned a new language, you stayed consistent in your workout goals and you lost 10, 20, 30 pounds, all of that is success. Maybe you lost 5 pounds. That's still success, right? you know, Sometimes people look at things and they'll judge it based off of what their future aspirations are, right? And you're not even paying attention to what you at one time aspired to be. And you so busy moving and going and checking off the boxes that you didn't even realize that you didn't hit a lot of those goals that you set out for yourself. Even if it was small as, I'm going to move from being with a roommate and now I have my own place. That is a great accomplishment for yourself. You finished high school and you didn't get into any trouble. You don't have a record, or you grew up and you didn't become a teen mom. So a lot of times you may have come from those type of generations where somebody went to jail or somebody had a baby young and you know didn't see a successful relationship, and now it took for you now have the successful relationship, your kids graduated, you didn't have to where your kids ended up going to jail, or teen pregnancy within your family, or all of these different things are accomplishments. Just because you didn't hit that six-figure mark, you're not retired yet, you didn't travel all the way around the world, you don't have all of these luxury items, that doesn't mean you are not successful. So, make your goals true to you, authentic to what your goals are for success, and don't look all, outside of yourself to dictate what that success means for you. All right. And I'll see y'all next week. Bye.